Hello, this is AVU from Reddit. I came across this thread this morning, and somebody asked if not me specifically, but if someone could turn this picture and turn it into a rage face. And then I came back with this. He just wanted to know how I did that, so I'm just going to show you the steps I used to create this rage face. And looking at it, it's not actually that great, but whatever. Anyway, the product I use is Adobe Photoshop CS3. The picture I'm using here is just a random picture I found on the internet when I searched for derp face. So, there we go. The main tool that I used was the pen tool. That's really all there is to it. It's just the pen tool. So I started out... how did I start out on this one? Oh, I started out with the shirt. So I'll just do like shoulders up on this one. So I just start, and you click at each of the corners. Close it off. Sorry, not shift click. Control click on an edge, and then you get all these boundary boxes. You get the boundary lines, rather. Regular click gives you a bendable line that conforms. You can adjust using these little handles here, which comes in handy with this part here, because this guy's collar is just freaking the hell out. And I just hit enter, and it doesn't rasterize, it just gets rid of the boundary line so I can take a look. Okay, now I missed a little bit here, so I just control click again on an edge, and I can just adjust. Now this one's actually a little more difficult because you know, on this one there was just the one edge that was revealed, and the rest was covered with hair. So this was probably not the best face to choose for it, but whatever. The way I did this is I actually did it in little bits and pieces. Let's say if I wanted to do the very outside border, I would take it along one curve and create a triangle. Then add a bend, get rid of the one edge that made it a triangle, and then simply do that. And now, whoops, that creates, actually this image is probably too small, but so now that's how you create a thin line like that. And then you just do that along the different edges. Doesn't matter how big the initial triangle is, as long as there is one. And then I always have a lot of fun with the lines in the face, but I'll get back to that. And then this guy actually has a lot of protrusions coming out from his hair, so it's going to be a little annoying. Nothing too difficult, but just a little irritating to do. Actually, I have a lot of fun with curves and such like that, so it's going to be pretty good. This note can go here because I don't know where else to put it. There's lots of spinies in his hair, so I'll just do a bunch of these, then come back to it later. Okay. So now we just do the whole curvature thing. The thing with the hair is actually okay to make the hair just one big solid blob. That's sort of one of the features of this kind of rage face. It just kind of there's not a lot of detail in the hair. It just kind of is. Right. That wasn't very good, but it doesn't really matter all that much. Okay, now we go back to doing our lines. And with the lines, you want to try and make them be on the outside of the body, just so that you have a defined shape that you're working with. It is possible to... Whoops. Come on. There we go. It is possible to have the lines be on the inside. It ends up looking weird. So just put them on the outside. It doesn't make that much of a difference. So and whenever there's like a distinct change, like the curvature of the neck here, you always just want to split that up into two different segments. Just something that works a little better than not doing that. I don't know how to phrase that sentence, so I'm just going to give up. Although, one exception to this rule is... Actually, I'm going to revise the rule. The rule is just have it be on the inside edge of the curve. That way, when you actually go and look at it, you can clearly see it. Alright, now here comes the fun part. The face. The face is obviously what defines a rage face. And it's always a lot of fun creating these expressions that are just, in this case, completely batshit insane. So this guy, you want to focus here on the neck and on the mouth. The eyes are important, but they come later. And then we'll do the ears last, just because it's a little bit of detail. Alright, and then on this guy's neck we have lots of very defined lines. And we just trace around them exactly the same way we did with our outline, which you don't normally have to do. Like I mentioned, one edge, pretty great. But on this guy, his necklines really help define the picture, help define the derp of the image. So we're going to do it. Now this guy has a quite defined chin, so we want to make sure that that's there too. Now, since you generally understand the structure of a chin, you can, if they have a defined chin like this, you can really just go with the outmost curve of the jaw and leave the rest to its own devices, because your viewer will figure it out. It's not that hard to see that that's a chin, especially once we go and put in all of these lines around the mouth. And sometimes you don't have to perfectly go along with the face. If the lines don't match up, then you can just do what you want and it'll look fine. Now the fun part, the mouth itself. There's actually a couple interesting characteristics about this that I'm going to point out as I go along. First off, the mouth, obviously you can see, isn't perfectly angular, so what we're going to do is we're going to remove the two initial points, the hard line points, and replace them with these bezel points. Alright? And then his mouth sort of comes down like that. Oops. And doing. Remove that. Don't remove that. By the way, in order to... That's interesting. I'll just get rid of that and put it back in. In order to drag them, I'm fairly certain I said this before, but you have to control click. If you regular click, it'll just remove the point entirely, and that's not what we want. You can actually see the cursor switch back and forth between the pen minus and the regular cursor. When you're dragging points, you want the regular cursor. But when you're adding points, you want the pen add icon. Okay? And that's about the mouth structure. The whole thing's not really that important. And then now what we do is we set the opacity to 50%, so we can do the teeth. As I mentioned, the entire thing is basically made up of the same triangular structure. This guy's hilarious teeth. The bottom row actually is made up of a rectangle, a slight rectangle, that we're just gonna curve out by doing that. So we just add a point really close to one side and delete the corner so it gets a nice steady curve. Then we take the opacity, put them back up at 100% for all three shapes, and suddenly we've got dirt mouth. Okay? I'm just going to create a shape so I can tell the tool to start defaulting back to black and get rid of it. Nose. The nose is always a fun little characteristic to draw. I had a lot of fun with Nicolas Cage's nose on the other one that I made. Now, with the nose, sometimes the bridge of the nose isn't clearly defined, so you can sort of just make it up as you go along. That's fine. As I mentioned with the chin, you don't have to do every individual line. Your viewer will figure it out. They're not stupid. They're not that stupid, I should say. And normally I just come around to the very edge of the nostril. Why are you defaulting back to white? I don't like you. Go away. Come around. Why are we still white? I don't know. Whatever. I give up. We come around the edge of the nostril, and then when we actually do the nostril itself, we just make another triangle. Why the hell? I really don't know why it keeps defaulting to white. Anyway, let me just do another one of these triangles over and over and over and over. Lots of why the fuck are you white? I think I ran into this problem doing the other rage face. I don't remember how I solved it. You can see the face is starting to form up. I think we need another edge to that nose. Why the hell are you white? I don't understand. By the way, if someone knows how to fix that problem, please let me know. I don't remember how the hell I solved it last time, and I don't feel like Googling in the middle of a video. So, if somebody knows, please do let me know in the comments. And then just for added derp, I've decided to make the bridge of his nose a little bent. Because why not? Now, unfortunately, obviously Nicolas Cage has some extremely defined eyebrows. This guy apparently does not, so I guess I picked a rather bad picture for this. However, we can sort of guess where they are based on the shape of the face. For the eyebrows, it'll just take a lot of tweaking to get the effect you want. That's all. Not too difficult. Look, this guy's eyebrow looks like it comes way the hell out here, but I don't think eyebrows actually do that, so I'm gonna not go along with it. There is screaming happening outside my window. I should probably call the police about that. Now, the eyes. With the eyes, I do want it to default to white, so it's actually a good thing that they are. The way these work is, you just put one point at either edge, and you make an oval around where his eye is. Then you open up your layer styles and set a 2-pixel black stroke. And then you've got the structure of the eye. Since I have this layer selected, I believe... No, I guess the layer style didn't carry over. I don't know CS3 as well as I like to think I do. Okay, now we need pupils. So we just take the opacity, set it to 50% again. Take our pen tool. Make sure that the layers are going above. Oh, why the f... I don't even understand. I don't know where it gets the defaults, so I'm just... I give up. Whatever, we want to make circles, sort of. And the way you do that is you start with our basic triangle, make a roughly circular shape, boom, boom, get rid of the 2 angles, there you go, circle. And then generally they're the same, so you can just clone the layer, drag it over to the other side, nudge it a little. There. There. Take these, put their opacity to 100 again. Oops. Okay. That's the general structure of the face. He doesn't have any lines in his forehead. Most people don't, oddly enough. Oh, I just need to fix this guy real quick, because this is clearly incorrect, because his hair comes way up here. Yeah, it's a little awkward when you have like hair covering the ears and such like that. So, okay, now again, triangles. It's like physics. Everything comes down to triangles eventually. And I think that's hair, so we can ignore that. That would be why. I think I've figured it out. Because I'm an idiot and set the color to white. Alright, so we've basically got the guy. Oh, this is actually going to be a little difficult, now that I think about it. Well, if you wanted to be ridiculous, you could leave it transparent. But we don't really want to do that. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new layer underneath all of these, but above the other one. Because we already have the shape, I don't actually need that one layer anymore. Set the color to white. Start out in his hair just because that'll be easy. Apparently. And then we just want to bend along each of the curves. And it's not going to be perfect, because I have to eyeball it, and that's not really that good, but oh well. Actually, something I can do. Make a layer of black. This is not an ideal solution, and I know there's a better way to do this, but I can't think of it off the top of my head, so in the interest of making this a quick video, I'm just going to go with the solution I invented. But bear in mind that this is not the best way to do it. Okay. So now we've got ridiculous faces. It's all just a matter of, actually I might want to change that to 1 point. Just because 2 pixels looks a little big. Okay, there we go. Crazy rage faces. Now you can create this style of rage face to your heart's content. Whoops, what am I doing? And obviously you want to crop it, because nobody likes massive areas of transparency. It's a waste of space. Save that guy for web. There's the original. There you go. There's your new derp face.